Go.
Yes.
Hello, this is Positive Vibes Enterprise, and I'm Tom Goodwin, and this is Michelle Ronquillo,
Hello,
and
everyone.
and the subject today will be spiritual energy drainers. These are people that tend to come across as needy, and they tend to have expectations of you to psychologically support them to it's almost like they expect you to put extra energy into them, that they need the attention. um,
This is the type of person that will always tell you their negative things that are happening to you. Pity parties, things that even if you give them a positive reassurance type of attitude, you can do it, motivation, they break it down and go right back into the negative need of the victim.
yes, they have unrealistic expectations in regard to the demands they have outside of themselves from the society around them. It's almost like the world is not treating them the way they should be treated, but they expect to be treated in a way that is really overly entitled, you could call it. They see themselves as a victim, and they see themselves as needing all this extra stuff, extra needy, and they become sort of like a bottomless pit. You try to help them or do something, you never give them enough help. It just keeps draining and draining and draining. It's never enough.
A healthy spiritual relationship is give and receive, and you'll notice that these type of people are just receive, 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 receive. They're never on the giving end.
And if you put it in a financial situation, what would happen is if you give them financial support, it'll never be enough. They will always want more and more and more, and they'll drain you dry. And the thing is, with people like that, they're not able to be responsible enough financially. So when you give them money, they'll think that the money will just disappear because of their carelessness or their inability to be responsible enough, and then they want more money, more money, more money, and it ends up being um, it's just very wasteful. You can almost think of the some of the spending that people do in political sense in the government, where they'll throw money at problems, and if they don't do it right, what happens is you can throw all the money in the world at it, and it's not gonna work. You have to have a program that um, doesn't just um, feed the need, but takes care of the need in the sense of helping to cure the need, help the person to be able to handle things themselves, or the situation to be able to self-sustain and take care of itself rather than just eating and eating and eating and eating more and
Correct.
more and more.
Also, these people are very manipulative if you do not follow through with their needs on a financial level or a spiritual level. There's always some kind of manipulation of or guilt of why you should support them not using their spiritual legs or not using their survival own uh, ways to feed that spiritualness. Everybody has this energy level, and it is up to us to also fill up and make sure those needs are met within ourselves. So these people are very lazy, and they don't do their own spiritual exercises to make sure their needs are met in a spiritual aspect.
It's so important to develop self-reliance spiritually, and not have to rely on other people to keep you afloat psychologically. Um, One of the things that's so important is having that spiritual independence, that ability to be responsible and take care of yourself. Um, you can it. I mean, you want to being a person that has developed yourself spiritually. You want to be helpful to other people. You want to feed. You don't mind feeding your energy spiritually to people as long as they're doing their part.
Yeah, it's that
That,
law: give and receive, give and receive. It's not receive, 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 give.
so you want to see that they're really trying to make progress. That they're really not just making excuses, but they're making the effort to move in a positive direction, to improve themselves, to contribute more to other people and not expect other people to do all the contributing to them. And that can be psychologically or financial. It's very similar in the sense that people that just take your emotions and keep needing more emotion are the same people are gonna, if they get into financial dependency, it'll do the same thing will happen.
Also, they'll try to ruin your credibility if you're not doing what they want you to do to feed those needs, or make sure that they're comforted in their spiritual levels. So, and that becomes very self-damaging to yourself as well, because those doubts come in, and it's just a big ball of manipulation so they can get that spiritual feed that they're looking for off of you.
And you are the bad guy if you don't treat them the way that you should treat them. You become the bad guy. And a lot of people, they don't like to be considered the bad guy, so they use tactics like that to try to get you to accommodate their needs. And a lot of times they'll have our philosophy that has to
Yes.
do with that will support the fact that people like them are entitled to get all this extra because they have been done wrong, or they don't, or the system does not work well for them, or reality or whatever. It's just not treating them the way it should be treating them.
Yes, a lot of people go into gaslighting, these spiritual energy drainers, and that is distorting the truth of what really happened. Any facts or truth of a situation. They try to convince you that it never happened, or it happened a different way. So those are the things that you pay attention to. Like, you're like, what? Am I crazy or what? They try to literally break down your reliability of understanding the truth and facts of what's really happening in a situation. So I think we covered it pretty much. You got to pay attention to the spiritual warfare going on, because you're independently looking out to be aware, putting out your senses. Pay attention to people around you that affect you, and the ones that drain you, and then you go into investigations of why they're draining you. What are the causes? What are the needs that they're trying to plug in and feed off of you about? And so, anything to add on that, Tom?
It's just that it's so important, as I say, to have spiritual independence and develop spiritual independence in other people, and to see reality in a straightforward way, and not see things as you being a victim, and things being unfair to you, and that other people are not giving you the energy you require. I mean, what happens is the energy from other people tends to be basically what you deserve.
Yeah,
And if you have to
definitely.
make an extra effort to get that energy, then it's probably a problem. Or you have to make an
Yeah,
extra energy effort to give that energy, then there's a
exactly.
problem.
Or if you're questioning yourself because of this individual warning signs flag, take a look at the situation.
Well, I think we covered it. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
from Positive Vibes Enterprise.
Yes.